We've got lots of time. All right. Hey, how's it going? We're back at Express Lube and Auto Repair. And, well, we're just relaxing. Jeff is going to be a little bit today. You're not going to really hear a whole lot from him, which is good. We'll get a chance to see him pantomime a little bit. And we got a special guest, Steve. And we call him Diesel Steve. And Steve, man, he's such a good guy to be a part of the channel. And it was so cool to do some fluids on his truck. This is his 97 F250 7.3 turbo diesel, and just what a good experience that was, doing the fluids and stuff like that.
It definitely was fun, and
yeah,
it's made a big difference.
Yeah, it made a big difference for Steve. So yeah, Jeff's just setting up his thing. He's pantomiming with stuff. So yeah, so this is synthetic oil protection. And today I'm going to go over a couple of products. You know, this one I'm holding here, this is the engine flush. And Jeff actually does this here. So basically what he does is he puts this stuff in the motor oil. You idle the engine for 10 to 15 minutes and it thins it out. And then you flush out all that old oil. And it's good to do it, you know, the first time before you switch over to Amsoil. It's really good too. And got some other stuff here that's all new. And you say, well, how can some lube be new? It's all the same. It's been around for hundreds of years. You just put a little lube here, a little lube there. Well, yes and no. So what this is the new Easy Pack. And they say less mess, you know, it makes it easier, 100% synthetic. ATF fluid. Steve played with this stuff. We did his gear lube with it. We did the 7590. A lot of the front differentials take this. And some of the rears do. Some of the trucks take 140 weight, and that's this box here. That's the 140. And so yeah, it's pretty cool. There's different specifications. This is the ATF, which is 100% synthetic, and it meets and exceeds all these specifications here. And you can double the severe service of it compared to OEM. So if you tow a trailer or something like that, there's Jeff. There he is. He's in one piece, but he's going to be quiet today, which is a good thing. We're not to hear him talk. He doesn't even talk that much either, though, you know. But yeah, I know, yeah. So that's the ATF, the new Easy Pack that came out. And got a booklet. This is the Shaboom. That's all the new ones that came out. And this is proprietary, so really none of the other companies have it. And it's great because you don't have to get a hand pump, or even if you go and start pumping, if your hand pump breaks, you're caught in a crossfire, you're like, you know, I gotta finish this job. Well, with this, you don't have to worry about it. Cleaner, faster, easier. And they got a whole display on this stuff talking about how great it is. And then they got 2 viscosities. So a lot of manual transmissions take ATF fluid, believe it or not. And you just pop the seal, stick it in, squeeze her in real easy. And then this is the viscosity. There's Jeff. Yep. It's like painting the Mona Lisa with him. He's an artist, actually. He does these cars in his sleep. He does engine flushes. He's pulling transmissions night and day. It doesn't even faze him anymore. I mean, he's been in the battles here. I think he's been at this spot for what, 10 years, Jeff? 12. Been here 12 years. And he's been in battle between the Army, all that stuff for like, oh my God, like 15, 20 years. But yeah, that's the Easy Pack. And this is the fuel efficient ATF that the new 10-speed Camaros take. And that's this right here. So this is what it used to come in. It used to come in the quartz, and now they got it in the Easy Pack. So super easy. And it's amazing how many ATFs actually, the transmissions, you actually fill them from underneath the car. And it's really interesting the way they're changing them up. And Jeff's in action. He's going to be using his tablet for jokes and doing all kinds of stuff today, and going over a couple other good products. Now, if you guys don't know, believe it or not, Jeff is a big hotshot magician here in Vegas, and that's his hobby. He loves entertainment, and if you look at the front of his garage, which we closed off the front just so the lighting's good from this side, but it says magician on duty, right? It says magician on duty. So when you come here, Jeff works miracles on these cars, believe it or not. It's actually that amazing down here on Tropicana Boulder Highway. And, we're just starting this new live Thursday night thing. It's just kind of getting kicked off. So, we're going to be getting a better Wi-Fi and stuff like that. I'm sure the streaming will be better as we go. And then we'll get a better microphone and stuff like that. Our first one was a little sloppy. Now we know better. Hey, what's up, Jeff? What's up? What's up? He's going to be doing his pantomime the whole day. Now, how'd you lose your voice, Jeff? You said someone squeezed your... What? No, I don't... But yeah, Steve, we got to bring Steve into the mix here, and we'll ask him some good questions, because Steve is years doing diesels. I mean, he's done fluid changes, you name it, for how many years, Steve?
About 13, 14 years. Been working on Class 8 trucks, and I've started off in an oil pit and made my way all the way up to replacing motors.
All right. So Steve's done all this diesel stuff. And how many years have you lived in town here?
I've been in town since 2000. So
All right.
I graduated high school from Coronado High School and
All right.
been turning a wrench.
That's awesome. And the first place you worked was the Mobil oil changes? Was it?
I worked at McAllister International, started off in the oil pit, made my way to the shop, and then went out on a service truck and did oil changes out in the field.
All right. So he's just been in the battlefields for years. And it's so interesting. When a mechanic that works on these every day, like Steve, whatever he drives is usually going to be a pretty good vehicle to get. So he's driving a 97 F250, and that's the 7.3 liter Power Stroke before they got real silly. What's up, Jeff? What's up? Jeff's in the mix now. He's playing with his tablet. He's a doodler. That's how he teaches his kids. Believe it or not, Jeff is a father of how many? 3, 4? 4, 3. And 1 grandkid. What are we drinking? That's a great question, Jeff. We're drinking this stuff that's good for your body. And I tell people I never drink anything stronger than pop. My pop would drink anything. But this is actually, it's organic. You can see organic there. And boom. And what this stuff does, it's kind of like lube for your body. Makes everything a lot smoother inside. Right, Jeff? See, Jeff agrees with everything. That's all you do. You say, right, Jeff? And he's got the nod down. It's like, there you go. So what this stuff is, it's organic. It's got honey in it. And basically, it just makes you a healthier, happier person. As they say, your greatest wealth is your health, right? Is that Jeff can't be here lubing cars and stuff. Good subscriber. Hey, Danny, good to see you, man. Thanks for giving me a call. Appreciate it. He calls me all the time, and he's been calling Jeff lately a little bit, right? Yep. He calls Jeff sometimes too, which is good. He wants to learn about cars. And speaking of him, he actually had this silly accident with his car, kind of like what I had almost with mine. And he sent me the video. It was funny, but I actually had a couple of accidents lately. So those will be coming up soon on the channel. So we'll be getting into that stuff. But yeah, this is just a health drink. That's all it is. It's like putting good lube in your body. Same thing. So, Jeff's got the whole smorgasbord there. Show him Facebook Live. Look, there's Facebook Live. So Jeff's he's the Facebook pro. So tell us, where's the next place you went, Steve? The next place.
I just kind of had the odds and ends of service truck work. And then I made it to a company called AWG, working on motor coaches. I left there, went to TCI, back to working on trucks and trailers, and went to Detroit. Started rebuilding Detroit 60 Series and also replacing them. And now I'm with Keenan Advantage, and I am the lead tech there. So I manage the shop.
So, Steve, like I said, he does this stuff in his sleep. And it was such a neat experience to learn a lot of stuff about Ford trucks, because eventually I'm going to be getting a diesel truck. Definitely. And Jeff's a little gun shy of diesels too. And like they say, people are afraid of stuff they just don't understand, So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning more about diesels from Steve. Let me just check the camera here. Make sure everything looks good. Looks good as always. Perfect. So we're going to be learning more about diesels from Steve. So tell us, Steve, if you didn't have this truck, what would you do if you had to replace this truck? Because I just lost my Corvette. It got totaled. Say this truck disappeared. All of a sudden it's gone. What would you get instead of this 7.3 liter?
I like the Salt in a Dodge Ram.
All right. A little bit rougher.
It is definitely a little bit of a rougher ride.
Because I did an oil change on a friend of mine and a subscriber, John. We did his 18-350, and that was a new Dodge, and that's of course the killer, super righteous 6.7 Cummins.
Right.
And it was a little stickler to get to that oil filter, but I tell you what though, the truck was solid, and when he took this one turn, he hit the inside of this curb, and it just nailed my side over, and it threw my back out. I'm like, man, John, I don't know how you can drive this thing. He's like 60, 70 years old, and he's driving a 350.
Yeah, I really think that a guy walks into a bar.
Jeff's off in La La Land. All right. He said, what? Ouch. All right. Ouch. All right. He hit his head. All right. So we're not going to put him down. We're going to keep him. We're going to keep Jeff. We can't put him down, even though he lost the weight. Why is that? Your beats are working. So
I don't know. I definitely would like to go into, I'd like to have the 3500 for the pulling, or I guess weight. And there's a couple of good engines out there. There's Duramax, there's Cummins. I think they got a pretty solid thing going on with them.
All right. So speaking of what he said, he likes certain things from different trucks. Another subscriber of mine, one of my best guys, we did his vehicle many times. He's got the Cummins inside an F-250. So he did the swap.
Right.
And he just got, I think, a Dodge. He just got a Dodge, and he replaced the old one. And we did his bypass oil filter kit thing on his truck. So basically just a spin-off, extra long filter. His filtered at 4 microns. The Amsoil 1 filter's at 2 microns. So it's a little bit of an upgrade. Wow. That is amazing. Yes, it is amazing, Jeffrey. It is. So how do you like your drink? Any good? It's amazing. All right. That's good. So hopefully we'll have the voice back by Thursday. Jeff's got some really good top secret stuff to share with you guys. And I think someone wanted the information from him. They said, give me answers. And they scared him so much he lost his voice. I think that's what happened. But he's still in one piece, so you could still come down here and see him. But so you'd probably do like a Duramax, you're thinking?
Yeah, Duramax, the Cummins. I really would I think I would really prefer to pick up another older truck, just for the simple fact is that less electronics, less things to go wrong, less emissions control on them.
So we were going to ask Steve some questions about EGR stuff. Tell us a little bit about when did the EGR stuff come into play and when did that start having issues?
I think the EGR came into play somewhere around, well, at least in the diesel side, I think it was about 2006.
All right.
When the 6.0 came out. And the issue with it is that, at idle, the EGR valve is open, it's recirculating your exhaust back into your intake, and they took a 7.3 that does not have an EGR valve and showed the inside of the cylinder wall, and this engine had, I think it was like 300,000 or 400,000 miles on it, and it still had crosshatching.
Wow.
They took a 6.0 that has an EGR valve on it, and it had 90,000 miles on it, and it already had a mirror finished cylinder line.
So it was totally worn out, and that's at like 100,000 miles or
Right.
less.
Less.
Yeah. So basically, all these emissions compliance ordinances are closing in on all the manufacturers, and they kind of scramble, and they don't really know what to do. So what they do is they do a quick fix, and that quick fix is good for usually just the warranty.
Right.
Just the warranty. That's 60,000 miles. And then all of a sudden, as soon as it gets out of warranty, it pops on you, right, Steve?
Right. And then you end up having to spend money and, need an engine or, So for me, I would like to stay with a little bit older mechanical, no regeneration, no DEF, just because it's more simple. And the engines last longer. I mean, the truck we're sitting in, I think the last time I looked, we were at 360,000, 380,000.
And that's nothing. And this thing runs perfectly smooth.
Right, and I haven't replaced injectors yet, or, I haven't had to go into the engine and do anything major. So, knock on wood, but still, I mean, The engine's still going. I mean, I pulled trailers. Matter of fact, we had a Peterbilt with a bent bumper, and we used this truck to chain up to the bumper and pull the bumper out.
That's awesome.
What's the difference between a
handy man and a what? A handy, all right, and a ham sandwich.
Never mind, I'll go make my own sandwich.
All right, all right. Good one, Jeff. Good one. All right. I'm lost on that one, but I got to try to keep up here in an outer space. This drink here.
I would like to stay with the older ones just because you get a longer longevity.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I like the videos on YouTube, which is great, where they pull all this emissions crap off these trucks, and it's kind of like, is it okay? Is it not? And it's like if you don't know, and no one can see it, no one says anything. But there are smog busters out here in Vegas. So if you floor a diesel truck, and Jeff knows it, he's an emissions compliance ordinance expert, and Jeffrey here, believe it or not, he does umpteen smog tests every day, right, Jeff? Jeff doesn't even think about it anymore. He chocks the tires, beep, he sticks the plug in, boom, he gets those things out of there like nothing. But hey, now Jeff, are you able to do diesels? Do you smog diesels here? Jeff can even smog up. Now Jeff, do you need a dyno to smog a diesel truck? Oh my God.
Yep.
And what year did that start?
That I want to say it started in about maybe 2006, 2008.
So this truck doesn't need to be dynoed.
No, I still have to dyno this one. And what they do, they put a wand into the exhaust, look for the amount of particulates that you are producing when accelerating from
visible smoke. Yeah.
I think.
Yep.
From a rolling, I think at 5-10 miles per hour, they hit the throttle, bring the truck up to like 55 miles per hour, and they see how much smoke comes out. If the laser can't see the other side or cut through, then you fail. As long as the laser can see the other side, you pass. So when that came into effect, I think it was trucks 10,900 pounds or 13,000 pounds. You don't have to get them smogged.
All right, so heavy duty trucks. So over the road trucks. Right?
For sure, over the road trucks. I think there are like the F450, F550, even the F650. You don't have to get them smogged.
All right. So all the truckers out there are scot-free. They can do whatever they want. To a certain extent. Almost. Yeah.
To a certain extent, you still have, when you get into the Class 8, they still have the same kind of restrictions as we do.
Now, Class 8 is what to what?
Class 8 is Peterbilt, Mack, Kenworth. They're
major, right?
Over the road trucks, and they still can't blow black smoke. That's why they have DPF filters, regeneration, things like that. Depending on the year, depending on other things, like you can maybe have a little bit, but you can't be. You can't be smoking all the time.
All right. Now, as far as diesel, when we did Steve's truck here in the channel, we did the motor oil, we did the transmission fluid, we did the front and rear diff, we did the transfer case on it, we did the coolant, and I think we did the power steering. I think we did it. I think we hit that too. It's ATF fluid. What made the biggest difference, would you say? Oh, and we did a fuel additive, which is very special. That lubricates the fuel system, cleans the system out.
I really think that the biggest difference was the oil and the probably the fuel additive.
And the fuel additive. All right, yeah. So that was really a blast. And what did your mileage go like, and what did you see the differences?
So I was originally doing about 380 on a full tank, which is about 24 gallons.
All right.
And then after doing the oil change and also putting the fuel additive in it, when it came time to fill up the truck again, I calculated, I think it was 24 gallons. We went 420 miles, which put it roughly about 17.3 miles per gallon.
Wow. And Steve's usually driving out towards the speedway, or where?
Yep. Right. Every day I go out to the fuel farm, so to say, which is right across the street from Nellis Air Force Base.
All right.
So it's pretty much from Henderson at Sunset and Boulder Highway to the speedway.
All right. So Steve's doing a heck of a lot of good highway driving, which is pretty easy on his truck. So that's good. It'll last a lot longer. And then you do some towing.
I do.
It's rough for him. You know, we're keeping them pasted together. You got Gorilla Glue. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, now a little bit of towing, I think Steve does.
Yeah, I usually haul a set of doubles. I have a 29-foot, 30-foot camper, and then we put like a little 12-foot flatbed back there with dirt bikes or quads on it.
All right.
And we usually go up to Ute, or we'll go up to Cold Creek. July, we were planning on going up to Marysville, Utah.
All right.
So
sweet.
Yep.
So yeah, we did that. We did a diesel injector clean, which is an additive. It's a little green bottle, and we did that to the truck. I think we don't have any, but I'll show you in the next one. There's a couple videos back, you'll see it. But that really, all right. Jeff's in the zone.
That'll fix everything.
It is. That's a little gear lube. That's some XL. Pull that out, Jeff. Pull that out. Yeah, pull that out. This is the XL oil. There it is. Beautiful. Jeff's mastered the slap. He's got great hands. He's good. I love it. Thanks, Jeff, for giving us that bonus. So yeah, and yeah, we did a lot of stuff with the truck. We did the coolant. Did it run any different with the coolant? You think? And make any differences? You think?
I had always been running a non-diluted green coolant, and it sucked during wintertime because the truck was really hard to warm up.
All right.
I would have to put a piece of cardboard in front of the radiator.
Wow.
To make it build some heat.
Wow.
The plus side to it was that during the summertime, the engine would stay extremely cool.
All right.
So I sit there and idle, and I have the AC on, and I won't even have to worry about the temperature.
All right.
After we put this coolant in there, I can't say so much that I felt it run any different, but I have noticed that I can build heat.
All right.
But at the same time, it's quicker to climb up to temperature. But I've noticed once it's at temperature, it doesn't really go anywhere. It just stays.
So yeah, so we put this proprietary additive in. It's called Dominator Coolant Boost, and it's like a red bottle. I don't know if I have some in there. I don't have any, but it's a red bottle, Amsoil Dominator Coolant Boost. And what it does is it allows the molecules to get closer to the aluminum, and it actually increases the heat faster, so it warms up faster, which in the good side, oh, what level is this? Next level protection. Yeah, next level, yeah. So yeah, so it warms up quicker, and it gets you off idle up, which actually saves you gas. So, and that's the thing is, with the diesel trucks, they have so much coolant. I think his took 30.5 quarts.
Something like that. I know we put the full 5-gallon water jug of distilled water in it, plus the proprietary, and I think we started the next one too.
Yeah.
So
it was like I think we did like 7 or 8. We drove it, and then he started adding more.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like 30.5 quarts is what this truck takes.
Yeah, it was a good amount.
And so it warms up faster, and then it keeps your cylinder temperatures down, make a little more power.
What's the difference between a
pickpocket and a peeping Tom?
Pickpocket snatches watches.
All right, the pickpocket snatches watches. That's good. I like it, Jeff. It's good and dirty. All right. See, I like Jeff because the dirty the better, and he's got that type of mind, as a mechanic, and that's what you need if you want to be good in the auto field. You have to know your lube, and you have to know your customers, and you got to make everybody happy, and that's what Jeff does. That's what makes him such a big deal. I've never seen one customer. I never seen Jeff lose control of the shop. He never had anybody come back and threaten him. No one ever tried to murder you here, Jeff, did they? Only one time, and they disappeared. So not a big deal. But no. So it's a blast. We love the shop here. It's great to have the pits. We don't ever have to jack anything up. It's safe. Super safe. Have you ever had anybody fall in a pit here, Jeff? You have. And what happened? Oh, you got your schnoozers. Boom. And what was in between? The rail. What? I don't understand how the rail could have got you right in between the legs.
So one leg fell into the pit, the other leg stayed up on top of the concrete, and
all right. All right.
And what he was trying to point to was the balls that are down there at the bottom of the truck.
Oh, all right. So Jeff had a little bit of a discoveries why it's so important to put a net up on these pits, and that's why they grandfathered them in, because old school, you can let people die where they just completely just boom, go right down in, and then you have the new school now. And that's why I think a lot of the dealerships, they don't like doing diesel truck oil change. They charge a lot of money. You got to jack it up, and it's a lot of money for that stuff. It's heavy duty. What do you call a dog with no legs? What? What?
It doesn't matter. He isn't coming anyway.
It doesn't matter. He isn't coming anyway. I like it. A dog with no legs. Don't worry about him. It's a good one. I like it. It's good.
No.
So yeah. So Jeff. Great thing about Jeff here. Actually, how I met Jeff is we met him down at this hookah bar, way down there in Sunset. And Jeff is a magician. I'm a musician, half magician, half musician. And I tell people the only song I can sing is Silent Night. And I'll give you my best version. So you can see how good I am at singing. I consider myself top notch in the world. So, but no. So Jeff and I, we met at this hookah lounge. It's called Wonderground. And if you're ever here in Vegas, you got to go check it out. It's at the Olive Mediterranean every Thursday. Is that right? And Jeff's going to be doing magic there. So if you get your car worked on, and then you want to see this guy do magic, you can go down there and check him out. He's a great guy. And he's drawing some stuff. And he's an artist too, you know. The artist, you know how an artist is. Hence the beard. Hence the beard. But yeah, so Jeff does the magic, and now we're getting him into comedy and stuff. It's great. And we both go to the Magic Club here in town. And I was playing with a deck of cards. Oh, June 20th. I am on the roster. All right, so Jeff's going to be a big superstar. And I always mess around with cards. I do a little bit of cards, a little bit of magic, a little bit of comedy. You know, I love juggling, any type of entertainment, you name it, I do it all. And just got to make it smaller. You just give it a little rub, and that's what happens. It gets big again, see? So I'm always, yeah. So I'm always messing around, you know, playing with cards, playing with my deck. Oh, you want to do? Jeff's going to show us a little something with a coin, I think. Right? Go ahead. Do a little something, Jeff. We're a superstar. And we're going to make this shop. This is going to be the most shop in the world, right, Jeff? People are going to be coming all over the world. France, Italy, Spain, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, Portugal, Venezuela, Vietnam, Chicago, the Congo, he said. All right? You name it, they're all going to be coming to Express Lube and Auto Repair. And I mean, we got great plans for this place. So while it's still quiet, you can still come over here. So it's great. It's great. So what else, Steve? Any other stuff we should be helping these the subscribers out and let them know about some different things with diesels, or what do you think the next level? You know, I don't know.
Honestly, one of the things to actually help with everyone that does have a diesel truck, from what I have been told and what I understand, is make sure you're putting good diesel into the truck.
That's a great. Where is the best place to get diesel around here?
Actually, it kind of sucks because you have to go to California. Actually,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, California diesel actually has a higher creatine level than we do here.
Cetane, right?
Cetane. Sorry. Yeah.
Creatine, that's like a bodybuilder powder.
Well, so cetane. You can get that cetane boost up to make the diesel fuel burn more efficient than having an EGR valve or having a newer engine, especially with all the regeneration stuff on it, will help it burn cleaner, and it'll actually start to last longer. So
all right, so
it's very important.
All right, so not only, I didn't know that at all. So actually bumping the cetane level will actually increase the life of the equipment.
Right, because it's not burning as dirty, so therefore you're not throwing bad exhaust gases back into the intake or back into your turbo.
And there's not as much exhaust gases to throw back because it's not all gunked and it's all burnt instead of being leftover.
Right. So what you are getting back is
less
clean. Right.
So all right. So then that means, yeah, I mean, it's exponential with the new green Amsoil. It's called the injector clean, lubricant, and cetane boost. So it does all three. So that exponentially will let the fuel system last longer, the engine, better gas mileage. Amazing. Yeah,
You know,
that's interesting.
old trick for us to clean our diesel engines, especially on the older engines, was put a quarter of ATF in them.
All right. All right.
You know, don't do that on your newer ones.
All right. Older ones. All right.
Older ones. But yeah, if you can keep the creatine level up, cetane.
Yeah. He's got it stuck in his head. He went.
I do.
He went to like vitamin shop, and that's what they sell you. They sell you protein powder and creatine powder.
Yeah, well, you know that my kids think of oil flowing through my veins, so you know.
Actually, check out Jeff's Facebook. He did this hilarious trick, this effect where he cuts himself, and he's like, guys, look at this. He's like, us mechanics, we piss gasoline, we bleed ATF fluid, and he starts cutting himself. And what's the other one? You breathe exhaust, right? Yeah. You piss gas and bleeds ATF fluid. It's a hilarious thing. You got to check out. Oh, all right, yeah. Yeah, you got to see Jeff's. What's the name of your all your pages? Express Lube and Auto Repair is one on Facebook. Jeff Lockett on Facebook, so check out Jeff's Facebook. And Jeff Lockett on YouTube. And stay tuned, believe it or not, Jeff is getting ready to do a whole comprehensive series on all different mechanic stuff. So he's going to be showing you how to wrench on wrench, and you're going to be able to do it in your sleep. I mean, the technique, the tutorials he's able to generate is it's better than painting the Mona Lisa or resculpting the Michelangelo. So that's how good Jeff is. And I've seen him in action, actually. I've seen him with breaker bars. I've seen what he's capable of. So once you see that, it's an image you never forget. Look at that. Yeah. Boom. Beautiful.
What's green and has wheels?
What's green and has wheels? What? Grass. I lied about the wheels. It's good. It's good. It's good. I like it. Yeah, so anything else we should be adding into this mix, Jeffrey? Any other questions we have for Steve? Well, we have a total diesel master here. Any questions for our master Steve, Jeff? We're going to put the pressure on Jeff because Jeff, you know, the reason why I like Jeff so much is he's still a student. He's still learning all the time, and that's what makes Jeff such a unique individual. He never thinks he knows it all, which is great. And well, Steve, all right, Steve.
Well, that was something I was going to agree with you. No matter whether it's automotive, it's diesel, you know, small, big, we're always learning. So you might do some things repetitious, but at the same time, you're still always learning.
And that's the great thing I love about Amsoil products is they're actually the leader in lubrication because what they do is they actually update their technical. He's a funny guy. How many miles do most diesels go between oil service? All right. So most diesel trucks go what, between like 5 to 10,000, Steve, on a diesel truck like this?
Yeah, I would agree with you.
All right. So I think OEM is like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it's about 6. I think,
about 6.
Depending on what oil you were using, like when I was working on minibuses and stuff, we had the F550s with the I think it was the 6.4.
All right.
And they recommended that we used 0.40.
All right.
For the oil in it,
which is good. That's a good oil.
And
15W40, 5W40. It's all very comparable. The biggest thing is that you have the colder, lower amps will be pulled on the starter and the motor when you have the 040 if it's cold. But if it's like 70 degrees out, it's going to be very small difference.
Right.
Yeah.
They recommended 0.40, and I think we were at 9,000 mile intervals with that.
All right. All right, so that was a specialty oil that they were running in a specialty. What about Amsoil? So like on Steve's truck, he's actually good for 1 year or 15,000 miles, and that's on severe service. So Steve, he's going to do some towing.
Yep.
He's going to do extremely high heat driving at about 110 degrees, right, Jeff? 110 degrees out here. Actually, it can even get above 110 actually sometimes, crazy as it sounds.
Yeah.
So,
but it's a dry heat.
but it's a dry heat. Exactly, yeah. So it doesn't, you don't even feel it actually. So just come here, I promise you won't feel nothing. But the pavement's only 180 degrees. So,
Right.
you know.
And if you lay on it, you flop around like a fish in a frying pan.
Oh my God, it is. It is that hot. It is. So yeah, so you're able to go basically 3 times longer on that same oil change with Amsoil, and it's 100% synthetic, not like the other oils. So you have less wear in the pistons and cams. You have extra carbon deposit protection on your turbos.
And you know, another thing too is, you know, Eben has done a great deal of testing himself. I'm sure Jeff has. I've done a lot of looking into it, and you know, you do, if you go onto YouTube and you find some of these other people that have tried to do some of the same testing that the manufacturer has done,
All right.
but doing it in their own home.
Yes.
It's really interesting because I was watching one where they wanted to test Amsoil against Mobil1,
Yes.
and they wanted to do a lubricity test.
All right. That's a good one.
And so they spun a bearing,
All right.
and every time the bearing came around, it had a piece of sandpaper it would also hit against.
All right.
And it would also keep dipping itself in, I think it was the Mobil1.
All right. Mobil1 oil.
And then
all right.
after, I think it was like 5 minutes or something, they checked to see how much wear
All right.
was done on that spot.
All right.
And then they did it with Amsoil. And Amsoil actually had less wear.
All right. So yeah,
you know,
it's-
there's other people out there that are doing these homemade tests to find out what's
next level.
what's better.
Yeah.
And so even they're proving
Yeah.
that Amsoil is a really good product.
Yeah, it's interesting, all the tests. You know, the thing that's bulletproof is basically anything that's an industry standard test. So that all motor oil has to go through to be certified. And in that specific test, the carbon deposit weight inside the oil is 4 times heavier in the Mobil1. So it's that much better. And then Royal Purple, it's 3.6 times better. So, and as the oil oxidizes and you get these carbon deposits, the oil actually gets thicker. And those little deposits float around, and depending on the detergents in the oil, those will start to cling on to the metal and stick, and it starts to get varnish inside, sludge. And so that's kind of the difference, is you have all that less wear, you have less circulation, friction, less parasitic drag, so you get better gas mileage, and you're not doing 3 oil changes, you're only doing 1.
Right.
So that's kind of what it's all about. What else, Jeff? What else? All right. He's gonna schwitz around a little bit.
Why are hamsters like cigarettes?
Why? They're completely harmless until you put one in your mouth and light it. Jeff's a sicko. It's good though. It's good. It's good. So, just trying to think. You know, we're still looking for a diesel truck. We got a guy that's a friend of mine on Facebook, Ty. We're probably going to be doing a oil change on his diesel truck soon. So we're going to be checking the gas mileage. Steve might have a diesel truck guy for us soon. You never know. He's trying. So we'll find, we're going to find a huge monster Tonka diesel truck to do a whole comprehensive test series on. And we're just going to keep putting the pieces of the puzzle together. Really appreciate each and every one of my subscribers for watching the channel. Really appreciate that. And got to thank all my Amsoil preferred customers that have ordered through my link. And Jeff here is an Amsoil dealer, and I actually am completely guiding him on his path to being a total superstar, right, Jeff? He's going all the way. And if you ever have any questions about this stuff too, you can always reach out to Jeff. Jeff can help you out too. So it's really cool to have Jeff in. Yeah, or you can call Jeff, you know, and you can come down. Express Lube and Auto Repair was this 5400 East Tropicana, basically Trop and Boulder Highway, right, Steve?
Yep.
It's a sweet spot down here, and it's getting better. The Amsoil basically brings the good people to the shop, so it's like it's the best place in the world down here. So, anything else we should be packing in here before we close her up, Jeff? Anything else, Steve?
I'm good.
All right.
I've enjoyed this.
All right, Steve loves the channel. He loves being a part of everything, and it's so cool to see. I can't wait to see a diesel truck, big over-the-road truck, and what it does. You know, it's really cool. All right, guys, that's it. That's it. All right, we got to get some lube. Well, cheers to some protection. Ease back. That's it. Right there, you squeeze it in.
Big one.
Boom, he's got the big Tonka. He's got the ATF. Boom, slap it. All right, see ya. See you next time.